But yeah, hi, how you guys doing? How goes your Saturday? Hope all is well. Had something, well, specifically Cheez-Its because we have some extra toasty ones to snack on. But hey, I saw you in Liz's chat. How goes? Did you have to deal with the stupid ice the other day? Why the other day? I literally mean yesterday. Ugh. We had a minor bit of it, which was fun. And by fun, I mean it's annoying. Time away from everybody. School let out or fair. Because it basically sounded like a garbage time to be outside, pretty much. So I do not blame them. Alright, so let me go find the ends on this thing. I literally have giant nitpicks box with the bobbins in here. Because the last time I did a 4-ply, it was with the, what was it, the smaller wheel, the nano, so I didn't need as big of a box. Not that this is Nitpix's largest box anyway. One of these, I think it's this one, I can't really find the end, so that's gonna be fun. Also, let me double check. Yeah. Turn the twist over to the other way to avoid stupidness. But yeah, my morning, not up to terribly much. I was sitting there looking in the background, watching Liz do the weaving. Although she hadn't gotten too much by the time I had to wander away. Okay, why are we like this? So I should probably just cut off these top flaps. Maybe. I really am glad these fit in here. Come on. Okay, that's another one. That's 2 out of 4. And then I need another 2 to get this started. So, this one I just saw. When I spun my singles, it's not even, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to, like, mess around after a while, but that probably won't be today. I doubt I'll get through enough plying to even bother with that, unless I get lucky. Okay, why are we... Let's just turn it this way, maybe, and that'll help me in the being able to see it. Okay, that's here. Come on. Is that it? Nope. Why is it always finding the ends on a bobbin the worst part? Help. Come on. There it is. Alright, so that's 3rd. So now I just need to find the one on the other wheel. Other bobbin. Let's see. Okay, what's this? I don't think so, though. Oh, there it is! Yay! Alright, so... got all 4. Alright, so let's pull this down here. Alright. This is like my second time ever doing a 4-ply. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. Although this time around I likely won't have the issue of one of the bobbins having the twist in the wrong direction. That was fun. I really don't know how I managed to do that though. Alright, so let's see if there should be enough of a lead to pull on there. And then let's put this here. No, why don't we stay right there? Alright, and scissors. Scissors, where art thou? And I swear I saw you earlier. Oh, I could probably get my stork scissors. Yeah, let me just find those. Is that reachable? Nope. Actually. If it wasn't for the fact that in here we're so small, the box being the size it is would not be an issue. Alright, so let's knot this. It actually might be a little bit longer than I needed, but it will take too long or too short any day. So, yep. Alright, and grab this to make sure. Alright, let's through. And then a little bit smaller. A little bit. Pull this through here, and then we should be able to get started. Alright, there we go. Normally I would have gotten that done before I got started, but I was just like, this shouldn't take terribly long. So, should be fine. Alright, and then, come on. Alright, and let's see. Are we? Yeah, I turned it on. Cool. And given how thin I was spinning, I'm not sure whether or not this will actually be sock weight. It might be, because I'm typically more inclined to spin thinner when it comes to silk. Seems to be a thing. Also, no, why are we doing the thing? I don't need that happening. I do hope this is enough for socks, though. Hold on, there's a little bit right there, being an idiot. There it is. Whee! Alright, there it is. And I tend to put a little bit more twist than necessary, so once I start plying yarn at some parts, likes to bunch up a little bit. So I usually have to be mindful of that. And also, this might need a little more tension. There we go. What kind of projects have you been working on lately? Also, how are the small humans? Which I imagine they had to have been overjoyed to have been out early. Alright, come on. Alright, cool. Do-do-do-do. But yeah, this looks like it's going a lot better than the last time I did 4-ply, so these all should be C-twists. It feels exhausting. Fair. A, less dangerous, B, more easy to play out in. So I do not blame them. Along with... Ooh! Cable sweater! And I'm questioning my standing. Is it basically like all cables all the time, and once you're not cabling, it's like you're branching off in areas? If so, then fair. My flax is still hanging out there, but in part because, once again, the red yarn is currently out of stock. This time until March. Which kind of makes me want to pull my hair out. Only the yoke is cabled, so I was like, this will be easy. Oh no. Yeah, it's like, this won't take long. Lies. Lies forever. Also, what's this? Okay, let's see. Discord alert thing. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. Aw. Act with the joke is nice. And why are we getting dark outside? Basic cables or, like, say, Celtic. Or something along those lines. Kellyon, hi! How goes? Hopefully your Saturday is off to a good start. I am here plying some yarn, as you can see. Yeah, I saw opening ceremony happen last night. I'm like, am I gonna watch? I tend to only watch the summer ones for the Olympics, but given how things went during the last one, I'm just like, do I really want to, you know, do this and like watch it at this point? Like, the way how things went kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. Also, yay, Knitty! I have like at least 1 or 2 pairs of socks from them. Like, there's like an Alice in Wonderland-ish sort of socks that I want to knit from them. I will eventually get to that. Also, I need to move this hook. That would help. Peanut butter toast with marmalade. Ooh, fancy. And homemade marmalade. That's even better. When I watch them, because I'll humor them. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, it's in China, right? Because I saw a thing on TV, they're like, hey, don't use your phone at the Olympics. And I'm like, what? What's happening? Like, don't use, like, your actual cell phone. Like, I guess they think the information's gonna get stolen. Whatever the case may have you. Pretty much. Is what I gathered. I was like, oh wow. That is insane though, to be like, hey, don't use your phone in this country that's allowed to host the Olympics, yet you can't trust them with your information. Like, what? What? Why? It's like, then don't let them host the Olympics, but I imagine, again, that would lead to a bunch of insanity. So, yeah, fair. Oh, I think I might be outside. Okay. I was just like, is this thing making a weird noise? No. Alright. You. Come on. Come on. I need you to not do that. Oh, so I need to grab my wraps per inch tool, which is just over here, I think. It's kind of like the... Oh, yeah, I forgot that even happened. Oh, wait, I think I vaguely recall that. In the dash button? Yep, yeah, I remember that specific part. I had seen that somewhere. Which it always amuses me, because they're like, hey, we'll smash everything, and it's like, cute. Obviously not that their, you know, ideals were anywhere remotely cute, because, you know, they were horrible, horrible people. Come on. There it is. But yeah, that always makes me laugh, because it's just like, you got played by yourself. And very much deserve it. Drinking tea to make sure it does not get cold. Because half the time I am very guilty of not remembering my tea exists until it gets cold. Which I very much don't want. Come on. I found a little thing in here. Come on. I need you to not do that. But yeah, has a nicer preservatives in the... That would not be out of the question. Marmalade sounds nice, but I'm not fond of having the pieces of, like, you know, the peel in there for the fruit. Like, texturally, that doesn't work for me, but that's just a me thing. I'm very, very picky about things like that, so it makes sense. But yeah, and in theory, marmalade is very, very nice. Move, alright. Come on. Oops, I missed that one. Why? How could you? That's like the one downside I have when it comes to doing like multiple apply with multiple singles. It just gets weird on me like this. But again, I like to over twist my singles, so it's usually something I know I'm gonna get into. Okay, how about we don't do that and then there it is. But yeah, it's not the worst problem in the world. I am curious how much yardage I'm gonna get out of this once I'm done. Which, speaking of marmalade, I always wonder, I know jelly, obviously. There's clearly differences between marmalade, jelly, but I do wonder the difference between marmalade, jelly, and jam, since, you know, I think jam is, like, mildly different, or that could just be another name for jelly, but I swear jam is a bit different, if memory serves. Alright, got a mild bit of that. Come on. There we go. Also, in the realizing I'm once again rambling, getting back to your point, given how much preservatives that likes to get dumped in pretty much everything, I feel like the US is especially guilty on that. Jelly made from fruit juice. Ah, okay. I do remember it gets, like, you put the sugar and then you condense it down, basically. It's also a lot cheaper. Yeah, I was about to say that, too. Because it means, A, shelf life is a lot longer when you put preservatives. But honestly, if you've not had anything, like, freshly made, you might not notice. Unless you're, like, allergic or sensitive to those things. Arguably. 9 times out of 10. Which, that kind of lends thought to the whole us dumping sugar and everything. Because, you know, European chocolate is, like, a little less sweet. A bit less sweet, arguably, than our chocolate. Also, that's a lot of sugar. It's a pectin to make it. Oh wow. Although it amuses me that orange to sugar ratio is like wildly a lot. Come on. Why? Alright. We're cool. Sugary wax. Yeah, that's basically the gist of what I've heard. I've not had too much non-USA chocolate, except that one time we were on when I went to England like a couple of years ago on the plane, and they had, what was it, the hot chocolate? What's that? I think it's Cadbury. Yeah, Cadbury hot chocolate, which I noticed it was not that sweet. Well, I know, you're not having the whole thing at one time, but jeez. I didn't realize that much sugar went into it. It's not a thing I've done. With the stick blender. emulsifier thing, right? I think we have one of those, I think. We used to at some point. Alright, almost time, if not just about time for me to move this. Come on. Yeah, right in here. There it is. Do, 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 do. Sorry, mildly focusing on this, but yeah, I really do want to try, like, European chocolate. But I imagine European chocolate definitely leans more towards, like, a dark chocolate, which... I actually like the darker chocolate sometimes, too. I mean, yes, at the same time, I will shove M&Ms in my face like it's no problem, but... yeah, dark chocolate is nice. But not full-on dark chocolate where it's like almost no sweetness to it at all. That tends to be like, nope. Okay, there's probably clouds outside, that's why it keeps getting light and dark in here. Based on where I'm sitting anyway. I might have to grab the lamp over there and then just have it positioned around here at some point, maybe in the next hour. It's mildly unhelpful as lighting can go to have it be so inconsistent. Speaking of, yeah, it's probably cloudy outside. Which, if the window were here, it probably wouldn't be as bad. Although, based on how, you know, the houses are, it probably wouldn't work as well. Because I wouldn't get, like, a ton of direct sunlight. Like that window right there in the back. That's, like, pretty much the best one for sunlight. And the one off to the side is, like, not so bad. Alright. We've hit another pigtail. Let me get it to stop doing the thing. Come on. I very much want you to not do that. So I can continue on my merry way. That would be great. Okay, why are we stuck? Unless this is like one of those areas I had to put in a knot. I don't think so. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I just wasn't pulling on the right one only. And then there's this one here. Come on. Bye. Please let me do the thing. Also, Talk of Whips keeps reminding me that I have that shawl hanging out on the needles that's been sitting in, like, timeout forever. More like I just haven't had the time to get back to it. Which I still won't have time until, like, say... if not after, like, during a Sock Madness break, which I have not registered for Sock Madness yet, but I'm probably gonna end up doing so. Although I'm probably gonna keep it pretty casual this time, or at least attempt to the best of my abilities. I really don't feel like full-on competing this year. Like, at all. Come on. Let's see. I need you to... like it's hitched on itself slightly, which is not helpful. Okay, it's not gonna completely let go. It's fine. Oh well. Also, it's kind of hilarious. Give it up where my face camera is, it looks a little bit brighter. And it's like I'm in the same area, and the craft cam is just like, nope. It's gonna look like it's about to start getting dark, even though it's only not even 2 p.m., but, you know, that's fine. Also, tea. Last bit of tea. There we go. Yeah, it started to get cold, but luckily that was the last bit of it. Come on. I just need you to not do that. Hold on. Yeah, right in there didn't look like it plied enough to my liking. Let's grab you. Put you right about here. Move paint palette out of my way. And then that's better. Ta-da! That fixes that. Another pigtail. Come on. I just want you to do the thing. Thank you. Trying to be careful not to break it. Given the changes in colors, I was not expecting this to look, well, not barber pole, but almost barber pole than it looks. But I think it's because there's the whole gaps of white in here that really helped that out. If it was all like blocks of bright color, it probably would definitely get a little bit too hectic for my liking, I suspect. Come on. And pigtail Y. Pigtail. There it is. Oh! Congratulations! Is it the same, like, sort of thing you're writing your book, if I recall correctly? So remember at one point you were like, slowly getting a real possible book? That is awesome. Do you have to jump through a lot of hoops to get published on Kindle? Or I imagine you can self-publish on there. If everything is up to code. Different universe. Okay. Alright, okay. I imagine the whole freedom of speech thing, to a degree, is why the whole that gets that sort of treatment. At least that's my suspicion, because you know, if there were like, say, a ridiculously huge fee for self-publishing or something, I imagine there'd be someone who'd be like, you're infringing on my First Amendment rights, or whatever. Although, the argument for that would be very thin, at best. Because usually at times, what things people consider First Amendment issues are not First Amendment issues. Which, A, not a lawyer, B, it's been a while since I've done any sort of political science, although I think I still have my printed copy of the Constitution somewhere, I think. I got 70%, nice! I imagine, given Amazon's the publisher, they're taking the other 30%, which that's not as bad as I thought it would be. Although I personally feel like it'd be more 80-20, but given it's digital, but whatever. Yeah, definitely not as bad as I would have presumed it to be. Given the reputation of Amazon, to put it mildly. Sorry, Aria's being dumb. Come on. Why are we like this? Covers everything except threats of violence. Yep, Axe Edition. Yeah. It's technically a dying branch. Barely ever. Yeah. Oh, yeah. By Harper, yeah. I was gonna say, it's like, that is more of a conservative stomping ground than anything else. Or in acts of war where people are like, I forget what pamphlet. Oh, there was a damn case where someone was just like, hey, here's the pamphlets on like reasons not to go to war or whatever, and then it was just like, I think the Supreme Court was like, knock it off. Again, it's been a really, really long time, so I couldn't tell you the specifics right off the top of my head. But I feel like that's like one of those special cases, like if they were in peace times, that would be fine. Public opinion is on, yep. Point is largely, again, another conservative stomping ground though. Which is kind of why they like to, or at least, I mean they as like a huge entity like to have like, say, censorship is not the word for like, on it, like morals, like decency groups for like, for things. Hold on. Why is this being like that? But right now I'm kind of thinking of the whole, you know how Wonder Woman there was like, let's see. There was like a, what was it? There was like a board. Forceful more, that is a better term too. Yeah, trying to announce this at the same time as talk. It's not always the best thing ever. But yeah, forceful moralizing is definitely a good thing to call that. And then, of course, they use that, but what about the kids? And it's like, you sure as heck didn't care about the kids before. It's just your excuse to step in and just be like, I don't like this being here. And it's like, great, go and do something else. And not read that. It's like that sort of stuff makes me think of, again, gender norms and that sort of thing. Anyone that really, like, arguably strays outside of the lines of what's considered gender norms can at times be deemed, say, politically incorrect, maybe? But again, conservatives. Batshit. Hold on. There you go. That hasn't happened in a while. Or I mean, given yield plague, I feel like everyone's kind of insane. Although, you know, the Kool-Aid Man challenge thing, too. That was like, was that a couple months ago now? I think so. Which, that one, I was just like, guys, why? Let's just destroy personal property. That's fine. Or people like, hey, let's just kick down fences. It's like, you know, like how the Kool-Aid Man will, like, kick out the board. Alrighty, no worries with it. I thought you had wandered off, because you went quiet. But given I was rambling. I think it's Kool-Aid, I think. I swear God. I saw, like, a clip of it on the news, like, one of those brief things, because I'm, like, kind of not watched the news in a while, but sometimes my parents have it on, and I just see things, and I'm just like, why? But yeah, basically, I think it was all around on TikTok, because of course it was. Where basically, I guess kids are like, you know, kicking down fences, or at least like, you know, part of a fence, which, you know, destruction of private property, arguably also vandalism, arguably, depending on how much that is, that could easily lead into, like, felony territory. So, you know, yeah, smart. It's like, and I thought the Tide Pod challenge was stupid. And the Cinnamon challenge. That one was all stupid. Like, literally, the last challenge I think that I've seen that was not, like, ridiculously stupid was the whole ice bucket one for charity. Other than that, yeah, I don't know. I was just like, guys, please, no, please stop. Because, like, that seems like a good way to get your parents or yourself very much sued. I say parents because I know it's gonna be, like, younger kids doing that sort of thing. Or just very drunk adults. Both of these are options. Especially in the day of, hey, we have you on camera, because almost everybody has a camera. So if they catch you doing that, you're literally on tape. Just, what are you doing? Also, why is this being weird? Why? Hold on. Gonna not be able to fully see chat for the moment. This thing's being weird, so took off my glasses so I could see it better. My glasses are for far away, so I mainly keep it on when I have the computer about this distance for stream stuffs. Come on, where'd that? Oh, yeah, it's still broke. Damn it. Come on, guys. I need you to go here and here. Let's see. Yeah, I might have just not pulled both parts together. Just gonna knot this. Given this yarn is for me, it's fine. Although I don't like doing that. Typically. Also, I see your thing, I just can't see the words. Give me a sec. Sorry. Let's see. Everyone, pretty much. It's just like, maybe 20 years ago, you might have had a chance of getting away with that. But now, 9 times out of 10, nope. So it's like, I don't understand. It's like, I feel like this pandemic has made people stupider. Not everyone, but enough people stupider. Also, don't tell me, I think that might need charging, that's why it's so dim. So I need to plug that in during the break. Come on. There it is. Ta-da! But speaking of everybody having a TV studio in your pocket, that, again, would have been insane to think about 20 years ago. I mean, yes, cell phones were a thing, like, picture cell phones, like, 90s, maybe? Yeah, it got invented in, like, 93, I believe. Something like that. And then it's like, it wasn't really a thing till, like, I'd say early to mid-2000s. And it's just like, from that to all the stuff we have now, it's just like, absolutely terrifyingly insane. So I can get a job. Well, let's fix. Yeah, very much fair. I'm trying to see if I could find something remote. But anything that isn't, you know, like tutoring or customer service. 'Cause I like my sanity. So I'm trying to see if I can get the shop and that sort of stuff to be more, or at least start being profitable. Hence why I also need trying to branch out into a couple of different things. Like, expand on the Ko-fi page. And maybe possibly try to get back into YouTube stuff. If I could somehow manage the time. But I know that's like a lot of irons on the fire, so I'm like trying to not overextend myself. But yeah, I very much would love this to be done now, but I have a feeling it's gonna be like at least another year or two, if we're lucky. Maybe another 5. Just because people won't do the basic minimum, but we won't get into that. Or else I'll be here all day. Yeah, and especially me being around people is very bad. So, yeah. Yay, high risk. Woohoo. There we go. That's very much better. Also... there it is. I literally have 2 streams going on tabs. Which I'm very much glad it's not causing any issues with the stream. I was worried about that. Normally I keep it down to 1. I don't want to close either one of them at this instance. Me? Alright, and I think... what time are we looking at? Alright. Just about an hour, so... let me do a little bit more plying here. And then... I'm gonna go take my break, because I should wash this teacup that is currently in front of me. Also, you know, stretch, also. Oh, my water bottle's right over there. Crap. I'm gonna need water. Yeah, definitely should have a break soon enough. Oh, okay. I thought that was a thing. Nope, we're fine. Whee! I'm probably gonna spend the rest of this weekend plying this, so I don't have to keep this box hanging around for too long. I really don't have space for it to just be laying around. Because I know I'm not gonna finish it on stream today. Although, if I do some extra, I might be able to. Maybe. But that is highly unlikely. Alright, cool. And... alright, Alright, and... damn it, I missed that one. Luckily that's near the end. It's fine. And move that. Oh, come on. Why? Why? Alright, cool enough. Let's get this on here and then pause there, or else I will sit here and not take my break and get my water, which will both be bad things. So, stop there. Alright. Let's get this bit tangled here. There it is. Alright, good enough for now. Alright, I'm gonna take my break. I'll be back in about the usual 10 minutes. Wrong screen. There we go. I love it went up even though I was supposed to go down. Whatever. Alright, and I'm back. Sorry, needed to numb on something. I actually got something healthy. I had literally just grabbed Cheez-Its and had my tea before I got started, so I grabbed a banana this time. So, yay! Which, given, it's been at least a couple weeks since I've last had a fruit, so... yay. I'm terrible. But I'm trying. Alright, so, we're back here. Let's see. I know the gain should be all the way up. Is this in, like, best proximity to make this lighting be useful? Or do I need to... yeah. Alright, I'll leave that at that brightness for now. But yeah, hi anybody who popped in during the break. I'm here doing some 4-ply today. So, that is the main thing of today. Let's see. Uh-oh. Oh, come on. There it is. That probably happened when I walked over it. I literally have a box I'm using as a Lazy Kate because I don't feel like buying a Lazy Kate for like 25 bucks. Okay, not that 25 bucks is a terrible price for a Lazy Kate. It's just given I could do one with my long straight knitting needles and a cardboard box, I figure there's no real need. For right now, anyway. Which I made sure to save, my most recent Knit Picks box for this reason, and it works perfectly. Size-wise, it fits all 4 bobbins. I was worried I was gonna have to, like, wind the singles off the bobbins and make them into cakes, which I was worried it might potentially fall apart that way if I did so. So, yay. Not having to do that. Oh, I did not... where is it? Hold on. I think that's the one thing I forgot. Where's the gauge thing? It's around here. I used it the last time. Hold on. Normally it's in this thing, but I'm pretty sure I didn't put it back the last time I used it, which is what my problem is. Hold on. Come on. Alright, yeah, it's not in here. Normally I leave it towards the front to avoid any issues. So let's see. Where'd you go? I suspect it's somewhere like on my bed or something. Whatever. It's fine. Cause I wanted to see if this were an actual, you know, sock weight. Although I think I do have, yeah, the one that comes with this thing. Which it's alright as a wrap per inch guide, but not the best thing, but it'll do. Alright, this looks like, yeah, here it's like 4. Okay, no, it's thinner. Okay, it's close to about 20 wraps per inch. Which, I forget how many wraps per inch sock yarn is. I think about there, so it actually might work out as a 4-ply sock yarn. So, yay. Which that was my worry, because I was not sure if I was spinning thinner than my usual 40 wraps per inch, because my gauge tool, I got the one that only goes down to 40 wraps per inch, because that's typically like the thinnest I spin in most cases. Which is why I tend to do like a chain ply or a 3-ply when it comes to my yarn. Because if I did a 4-ply, it'd probably be closer to, like, say, heavier fingering, if not... Is it Sport or DK? I think it might be DK. Also, I should be watching if there's any... twisted bits in here. Should have moved my hook a little while ago. It's fine. It's not gonna stay on there forever. But yeah, I really was curious how this was gonna play out, but I guess because the white's in there and a good chunk of the colors are a bit light, it's not competing with each other as I thought they might be, which is very good. Because there are like bits of like blue, green, yellow, bits of white, which I don't usually spin with anything that has like white in there, personally, just because I'm always worried that, you know, white's gonna get dirty because I pretty much wear my hand knit socks all the time, so it's like anything with white just gets dirty quickly. Which is not something I want. Not that, you know, colors don't get dirty either, but it's not as distinctly noticeable as it would be with white, personally. Not that I have anything against white as a color when it comes to yarn and stuff, it's just not something I personally gravitate towards. Which is kind of why I tend to not, like, really have gotten into speckled yarn terribly much. Because a good chunk of speckled yarn also has, like, you know, white, if not, like, a white, off-white base color for the background, which it does not appeal to me for aforementioned reasons. Hence why I have not gotten around to the speckled space socks, which is on my to-knit list eventually. I've had that pattern for a while, and it's been chillin'. Which those are toe-up socks. Which I have not knit toe-up socks in a little bit. Majority of my socks I knit cuffed down, but I do like when I get to knit toe-up socks. They're nice. Plus you don't have to wait until you get past the heel to be able to try on the sock. AJ! Hi! No worries, you are fine. Hopefully it's nothing terrible, and it's also very fixable. And other than dealing with stuff, I hope you're doing well. I am just here talking about my distinct feelings on having white in yarn in most cases. And doing this bit of 4-ply. Oh, so I didn't drink my water during break, did I? No. I just had to quickly run and grab the water bottle. There it is. Because I knew I felt the thing. There it is. Come on, please. I beg of you. Please don't do this to me. There it is. Ta-da! But yes, definitely lurk if you need to. I'm like the last person alive to mind if you need to lurk and deal with stuff. Because I lurk in way too many places to honestly mind and not be a complete and utter hypocrite. Which I very much try to avoid. Alright, come on. Come on. There it is. There we are. I'm gonna make sure that we were all set. But yes, what was I talking about? I think it was speckled, yeah, speckled yarn, how I don't like the white base. Speckled yarn, which some yarn does not have like white as the base when it comes to a speckled yarn, so it's not like I can't buy speckled yarn, but it's just one of those things where it's like I kind of have to stare at it before I even think about buying it. Which I do have some speckled yarn from Jane when she gifted me for my birthday almost 2 years ago now, which is kind of insane. I cannot believe it's been nearly 2 years since that. Jeez. Because it was 2020. I remember that distinctly. So. Which I still have the purple hanging there. I do want to use that for a sweater, but I suspect I might end up using that in, once again, socks, because socks are my jam. But I do want to knit that broadleaf sweater, which is a bunch of squishy brioche, because brioche is lovely. But I'd rather wait for that until A, I get enough yarn. I could spin some yarn, maybe, for that instead, which that would be fun. But that would be very much the adventure. Because that would certainly be a long-term spinning project to spin enough sweater for Spin enough yarn for a sweater. Wow. I knew the word sweater came in my mouth in the wrong place. I was like, nope, that is not the correct area that should be in that sentence. Cool. But yeah, I would at least love to try to have a sweater out of hand spun. That would be like the dream. But you know. And that's like a down the road sort of thing, maybe like later this year, if not next year. Because I don't want to put too much on my plate right now. I mean, yes, it's barely February, but you know, given Sock Madness, I'm gonna probably, that pretty much puts March out. And I kind of do want to spin some of my acrylic floof that I still have hanging around from Walls of Gab. Like, I have one skein, but I still have 3 braids of it, and then there's also the Lion brand stuff in purple I bought to see how much I could get out of that. So it's... So yeah, me pretty much pondering about things and stuff. A lot. Plus, you know, it depends on if somehow the shop gets busy too, which that would be very awesome if I got some new business in this year. That would be great. But who knows? Alright, and where are we going? I think I need to move this hook. Yeah. But yeah, you can see it's not fully even because like there are parts of this where I was probably not as consistent with my spinning, but it's fine. Yeah, I think I might need to turn up my saturation up just a smidge because when I adjusted, I didn't have the yarn on the bobbin yet. So let's see, configure video. I'm like, it looks weird to me. Oh, that could be the lighting. And then a little bit of sharpness here. And maybe turn down the saturation a tiny bit. Okay, that's better. Ta-da! Yeah. I realized it was not looking accurate. That should mostly fix it. This is arguably like bits of like warm color mixed with cool color, which makes it white balance relatively tricky at times. Especially given, you know, this is not like the best camera ever. It's good for streaming, like especially as a starter, but it's not, you know, top tier. But yes, cameras go, this is passable. Do 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 do. Also, given at the weight it is now, given, you know, I'm gonna wash it and so on, it might poof up a little bit, given the merino, but we'll see. Depends. But yeah, this is something I'd meant to get over and done with last month, but however, that did not end up being the case, so at least I'm getting it done now. Which, I have a second spin going on my Turkish spindle. That's like a no pressure thing, but that will also be sock yarn. But more than likely I'll end up chain plying. That is like still my ply of choice. Oop. Nub. Nub that escaped my notice. It's a minor nub though. So it is not the worst thing in the world. Come on. Do I need to move the hook yet? Maybe. It's highly possible. I swear. That is always a thing. I'm like, not sure if I should do it yet. Alright, cool. Which is like, I'm kind of astounded when people happen to have their bobbins like so aesthetically pleasingly even. At least like in, you know, the final bits. Because the more even you can like get your yarn on a bobbin, whether it be plies or singles, the more you can fit on there, typically. So it's certainly helpful to be able to do so. But given these are supposed to hold like 8 ounces, but honestly I feel like for most people this would probably hold like, say, 4 ounces of yarn. But likely, again, that depends on the spinner and what they're doing, so yeah. Kinda have to be mindful. But yeah, this is definitely better than the Nano in the sense of, hey, this can hold a bit more yarn compared to what the Nano can, because the Nano bobbin is about half, so 2 ounces. And again, that depends on how evenly you're getting your yarn on there. Also, depends on how thickly you're spinning. If you're spinning, like, say, worsted weight or something, spinning that on a Nano is like, might as well not, because you won't get much in the way of yardage. This you would actually have, like, you know, a chance to have a substantial amount of yarn if you're going to spin, like, say, worsted weight, or somewhere between, or even chunky, although I would have to, if I did worsted weight, I'd have to take off the cap thing right here. Which I know the name of it, but I'm trying to avoid saying that for obvious reasons. For anybody who knows what the name of that is. Even though it is a mature stream, so I could say that, but I very much like to avoid doing so. And nub. No. No nubs. Nubs not allowed. No nubs. And come on. You can do it. Oh, that was a long one and it missed me completely. How the... Get back here. Get back here. Yeah, like, look. Very, very long pigtail, and I didn't see until I saw the end of it. And it looks shorter than what it looks like, so... Whoops. Come on. Alright, I think we're all good here. Come on. You will do the thing like I want you to. Come on. And no, get out of here. There it goes. Better. Alright, let's get that to come back down here. There we go. That's better. I was literally spinning yesterday, like lurking in very cozy sewing stream. I was not sure I was gonna get this done, but I was being stubborn. I was like, I'm gonna finish spinning these singles. Which I wanted it done yesterday to allow whatever I had left to at least rest a little bit, which it's not a requirement, but it's certainly something I prefer to do. Because if you don't, the yarn tends to be a bit more lively with the twist. If you don't let it hang out for a little bit. But again, that depends more on preference than anything else. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Please. Please. There it is. Damn nub. Why? Why must you hate me so? I know why, but I very much would still prefer if you not. This is a torture of my own creation, but I will still lament on why it must be. But arguably, this is not that much of a torture, given it's fixable. If this were like, say, I have to sit there and pick out things for like an hour, that would be a different story. Oh gosh, it's like nutty as all fucking hell here. Whee. Come on. The one thing is this yarn doesn't tip terribly much catch on itself, thankfully. I mean, there are like times where it's like might, but it does not do it to a great extent, which makes this a bit easier to deal with. Come on. You can do it. Uh-oh. Is that? Yeah. That's fucking... Why? Why? Yeah, this is broken. Where it broke from? Tell me. Come on. It might be somewhere in here, maybe. Maybe? Yeah. Right about there-ish. There we are. I was like, why are you being so... There's like some really, really thin spots in this yarn, so that's likely why. Come on, come on. There we are. And let's see. Yeah, let's grab that. I would just rub this and get the fibers back together, but I'm probably just gonna knot it. That's fine. It is fine. And then let's cut the ends of it so that stops being an issue. Uh-oh. Nope. I knew I was gonna do that as soon as I untwist, because there was not spun. Great. Oh, damn it. Alright, and then cut that, and let's see. Here's where things get stupid. Let's see. How's here? Okay, it looks like I should be able to. Okay. Why? Okay, come on. I just need you to let go of this, and we'll be fine. I love as soon as after I said this strand doesn't really catch up on itself. That's exactly what happens. And yeah, I felt something break. I think I tugged too hard. Why? Why are you like this? Like, am I just torturing myself right now? Might be. Alright, and let's see. Alright, maybe, yeah, I should be able to continue from there. Cool. That felt like an eternity. Alright, and I'm gonna have to pause in here. Yeah. Make sure that gets situated very gently. Come on. What in the oh, okay, that's not bad. It's just that this is like annoyingly long. From above there. Which is what's causing my annoyances down here. Alright. Hopefully nothing else for the moment breaks. Alright, and come on. see if I can get this to cooperate with me. Maybe. Possibly. Okay. Let's see. There it is. And then... and... pause there. Also, this will teach me to ever say, this'll be fine, this won't be a problem. I swear, every time I say that, something comes to bite me in the ass. Like, you would think I'd learn by now. But nope. Come on. Very unrelated to what's going on, but my watch that I use to track my steps, it kind of lost its mind last night. Like, it weirdly reset itself. Somehow. Like, I'd already disconnected from the app, because I turned off my phone, so I basically do that to prevent it from not being able to reconnect easily, because I've had that problem, and it's a pain. So I usually make sure that I disconnect from my phone at night before I turn off my phone. I don't always do that. But most of the time I'm usually on it. And I was like, it was after I disconnected, and it was like, this time is wrong, and this date is wrong? Because it was saying Tuesday the 1st, and I was like, the 1st of when? Because, like, it was not the 1st of this month, that was a Tuesday, so I'm pretty sure, like, fully, like, almost factory reset. Which was fun. Actually, no, this month did start on a Tuesday, but yeah. It was saying a different date, time, and I was just like, what are you doing? And it pretty much, I guess, yeah, because it reset. I think it turned off the heart rate monitoring that I have it for at night. So I did not keep track of that at night at all. But once I reconnected it back to my phone after a second, it came back to what it was supposed to be, so I'm not sure what the deal is. Got it last year. So I'm hoping it's not having an issue, because I can't buy another one of this specifically, because it's not available on Amazon. So, yeah. I would have to buy a different type, which would mean me having to get an app, a different app and all that. Which is like, can we not? Also, it's stuck for some reason. Why are we stuck? Pray tell? It might be hitched on itself again. Let me take out my glasses. I'm not sure why. I guess because I need to keep peering over my glasses to stare at us. My eyes are getting a wee bit strained. That or I might need to clean my glasses, because I haven't done that in a while. Because other than being outside, me streaming is pretty much the only time I wear my glasses. Even though arguably I should wear them while I'm watching the TV. But I don't. Come on. Why are we like this? Please. Come on. There it is. Alright. Alright, and let's see. I know I'm probably pretty close to second break, but I'd really like for this to stop giving me issues, so I'm trying to get this to do what I want here. Also trying to make sure I'm gentle enough that this does not break on me again. Come on, why are we like this? Alright. Come on. Also, it's probably... Oh, okay. Alright, I'm gonna move you down here so I can see a little bit better. Alright, and then as I go from there, here's directly the same thing again. Emails. Alright, and then... Kinda busy. Alright, and... nope. Why? Although, actually, I can just move that down just a smidge. This has kind of gone off the rails and it's mildly irritating. It's like, what did I do to deserve this? Don't know. Alright, and... yeah, and there should not be bunching that much. Even though, yeah, I know it's definitely, yep, a little past break time. This yarn is pissing me off. Also, I might just be mildly stubborn. Just a wee bit. Alright. Uh-oh. That's weird. Might have tied... who knows. I'll leave it alone. It's not gonna really do me any good. It's fine. Do, do, do. Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna pause here and take my second break. There we go. I can see. Woohoo. Feel free to play with the Plinko the drop game currently on the Be Right Back screen. There we go. But yeah, back. I have a face. Thank you to everybody who joined the raid. Serena Variety Caster, way too many things. Currently I'm doing a 4-ply of this merino and tussah silk blend. Which, this is the stuff that I got from Alley Cat on my birthday last year? Yeah, I think it was like not long before Tour de Fleece last year that I bought this stuff, and I'm finally getting around to spinning it. So, I'm pretty sure this actually might be stock weight 4-ply, so I'm very excited. Very, very excited. Which this 4-ply actually is going better than the last one, because at least all of the singles went in the same direction like they were supposed to. But, you know, you live and you learn, I suppose? But yeah, do the yarn crafts, hence the name, so knitting, crocheting, spinning, weaving, which, I should actually start using the thing, but it's like there's only so many hours in the day, so I'll eventually get to that. Chainmail on occasion. which there should be at least 1 or 2 passive VODs of me doing that. Digital traditional art, and sometimes games. Usually Stardew Valley, which that reminds me I've not played a game on stream since the year started. But I've only been streaming again for a couple of weeks, so meh. But yeah, usually a chill time. Got some... what is it? Piano covers of Studio Ghibli? Yeah, should be Ghibli stuff. So I have a playlist of that. Amongst all my playlists. Which I feel like I'm revamping my playlist now that you mentioned what you'd said on stream earlier. You're still... yeah, I know. Also, thank you for that resub. Which, is that a resub or is that one of those anniversary things? I usually can't tell. Which, if that's a resub, let me get you written down here in the book. I think it is. Because I'm terrible and don't remember. Whoops. And the light fell down. Cool. That was my own fault anyway. Alright, purple pen, where art thou? Oh, there it is. Okay, that's what I thought. It's hard to tell. I figured it was. I really do hate the whole anniversary sub thing because it makes things really confusing. Especially if the anniversary and the resub do not fall on the same date. It's like highly confusing to me. Alright. Let's grab light. Light shall go up here. I know you probably want what's its face neon, so I don't really have to ask you a color. So let's go to face cam. There's a wheel. Which, anyone who has not been here since last year, I did a little changing of my scenes. Did a quick thing. Which, to note, I'm gonna run out of that neon, I think, while I'm still catching up with sub-squares, so... just to note, you'll probably wanna... I would say... all the neon. Also very appropriate. Alright. What's today? Because I'm actually remembering to date these damn pages now. Today is the 5th. Alright, 2022. Let's see. Blues and teals. Awesome. Thank you. I have those, so pretty much cool. Let's see. For anybody wondering, this wheel is for anybody who subs and or resubs to the channel. Whether it be gift subs or whatever the case may have you. Alright, so you get 500 floof, which I had reset the points at the beginning of the year. Because that's the thing I'm doing like every 3 months or so now to help modulate the point fluctuation. Let's see. Alright, let's see. Neon / blue. Likely it's gonna be blue. But yeah, very much appreciate the free sub. Let's see. I'm going to hide this here. Wrong one. Hide that. Go over here. Give you your points. And then it would help if I'd actually click the bot and not Discord. I don't even have that many windows open and I'm still clicking the wrong window. What is with me today? Anyway. Let's see. There we go. And then edit. That said 500, so that makes that 800. Cool. Nee. Alright, so we are set. I'm gonna make sure this bit of the yarn is not gonna be an ass, so I don't have to stop and start the plying every 5 seconds. But yeah, I presume Alley Cat actually is wandered off. I know she was there earlier, but yeah, this is her floof. Which I very much enjoyed spinning this. And it's my own fault that this is being dumb right now. Which is a shock to absolutely no one. But, eh. Let's see. It's like getting caught on itself in places, so I'm pretty sure this is definitely a me issue. Window with sock pattern on my big screen textbook. I should be reading another window on my... Oh my gosh, all the windows. Also, textbook. I'm still clicking on the... Oh boy. But yeah, I'm just gonna smooth this out before I start yelling at this thing. Which I was expecting this to end up being more barber pole-y. I'm not sure why. Also. Okay, that's the... But why does it... Oh, it plugged about because I dropped it on the floor. That would, you know, definitely solve the issue. I'm like, it should not be that dim. I think. That or it's just not at the right angle. Why are you like this? Did I offend you somehow today? That or it might just need charting, I don't know. Either way, it's kind of being a pain. Alright, so smooth this area out and then I can finally get back to play time. And where's foot pedal? Foot pedal's right there. Whee! Alright. Oh, so for anybody wondering, I do not have a lazy Kate. I am literally using one of my Nitpicks cardboard boxes with a couple of my never used now straight needles, the 14-inch ones. And it pretty much works exactly the same. I was not sure if it was going to be wide enough to fit all the bobbins. So I haven't done a 4-ply with the 6 bobbins before. The last one I did, it was with the nano bobbin, so the box wasn't as... What's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't as large of a space I needed to get them in. Also, I wonder... Hold on. Did I dim the... Let's see. Properties. Configure video. No, I didn't turn down the gain. So... Exposure's not... Okay, then it just looks dim like that. That is very strange. Okay, how about if I bring you down here? Because I had it all the way up to help use the damn lighting, but... Since they're gonna be this weird and dim today, I guess I can just do it here. Okay, it's a little bit better. Ta-da! Alright. I hate lighting sometimes. Come on. Yeah. It's hilarious now that it was like smooth sailing mostly for the first hour. It's just kind of been me trying to detangle areas here and there the entire time now. It's just like, what did I do wrong here? Why do you hate me so much? Alright. Let's see, I think I can get it from here. Maybe, possibly. I did not get to any movie watching last weekend. I had planned to do some, if not Raya and the Last Dragon, maybe Ocean's 8, which apparently is about 4 years old or gonna be this summer, which... How did that happen? So I was like, it was 2018, which I was correct. And I was just like, no, it can't have been 2018, and it's just like, it was 2018 when that came out. And I'm pretty sure it should still be on Hulu, so you should be able to watch it. And it seems like a good time. We have been... Yeah! Yes, we have. It's like... It's only... Yeah. Okay. It looks like I've gotten through the area that was being a dumbass, so... I should be able to ply with ease now. Also, I should probably move this hook, and should have moved this hook a while ago. Whoops. But yeah, I really... Ooh, hot chocolate! That is always a nice substitute. Dude, my hands have been cold, like, a good chunk of the time. I mean, it does not help. I definitely am at times sitting on my ass, so... Yeah, that would do it. Yeah, I'm inside and my hands are, like, typically just freezing. So, yeah, because I'm like, I know my iron is not crap. That much I know, so it can't be that. So, probably my circulation being garbage. Although I'm pretty sure circulation tends to be less efficient when you're sitting. Oh no. One of my friends said their mailbox pretty much like froze shut due to all the raining ice and crap from yesterday, and it was just like, well, cool. Okay, nub. There are, oh no. Yeah, ours is like on the actual porch itself, onto the wall, so it's like onto the house rather. Well, still a wall, but anyway. It helps it be a little less not frozen, I guess. Which, God, yesterday was disgusting. I'm glad I didn't have to be out there for nothing. When I had no shells, I could plug in a heater. Now I have, aw, boo. I mean, yay. Yay shelves, though. Which I could honestly use for shelves, given I can't find half the stuff I want sometimes, because I just shove things in various places. So some shelves, which, yes, I have a giant bookcase, but this bookcase is full. So, yeah, some shelves on the wall would be great. Same, I pretty much just like my coffee and tea anyway. Had tea at the start. Okay, where are we? Hello? Are you just gonna do that? Or are you actually gonna do what I want? Which is not do this stupidness. Okay, it's this side. This is my problem with 4-ply sometimes. It's just like trying to find which one of these singles is doing the offended bunching up is not as easy. Oh no! Cutting a hole in the back of one of that plug S. Oh no! One was stolen. Was it pupper stolen? Or people stolen? Okay, what in the actual... why won't you... Come on. You literally should not be doing this. There it is. Alright. There it is. Golden Retriever. Aww. Golden... Found it at work embedding, like... Oh no. It's like, I'll use this to warm myself up. Is it... Yeah, I was like, is it... dog or people? Even though they weren't asked to retrieve anything. They're like, I'll retrieve it anyway. Ooh. Oh, okay. But I swear golden retrievers look like an absolute bundle of energy for, like, ever. It's probably why if I ever get a pet, probably would not be one of them, even though they are adorable to no end. A border collie would rescue socks and gloves all the time. Rescue. It's like they have a better home with me now. Exactly why I did rescue. Balls of yarn when I wasn't knitting or crocheting and seemed upset. Oh no. Aw. High energy. Oh, they're mouthy too, oh boy. Use their teeth. Most of the bites on other dogs are- Oh. That's good to know. Yeah. Golden Retrievers definitely get the rap of sunshine children, I feel like, where it's like, they can do no wrong, and they're just cute and adorable, and just, like, off-the-walls cute and energetic. Basically, it's the general look to them. Dismissed from responsibility. The rest have been retriever mixes. Huh. Yeah, I know pit bulls are not as bad as people make them seem. So that makes sense. Okay, what are we doing? Knock it off here. It just depends on, like, you know, how you train them and how you deal with them. I mean, yes, any dog can technically be aggressive, but it's literally, like, on the owner or whoever's training said pupper to, you know, teach them that that's not cool. And go from there. Had a brain injury when I was a puppy. Oh no, fully recovered now. But he still runs at home. They look scarier than they actually are. But hardly ever. Even with the untrained ones. Huh! Interesting. Oh, so that reminds me, Gab, have you spun any of the acrylic, or did you give away the rest of the acrylic floof? Meaning the same stuff you sent me last year? If it's not last year, the year before, I don't know what time is. I was like, it was either last year or the year before you had sent me floof. Might be last year, I don't even fucking know. Because every year has seemed like 5 put together. I spiraled a couple of months. I haven't touched fire arts until recent. Especially there. I figured you were busy, but I was just curious. The only reason why I don't think that hasn't happened because, you know, it kind of keeps me sane, plus I tend to switch around with things. So it's not like me doing one thing at a time constantly. But I imagine even in that case, there will be instances where it's like, I won't want to do anything, so... I guess. Barbar's the only reason why I haven't punched certain people in the face. Probably wouldn't meet the development milestones, but a year and a half later, we've definitely still got all the... Yeah, you don't need to know who I'm disgusting. Yeah, that is really good. And it's to recover, despite doctors saying, like, might not work out that way. Do. Alright. Okay. Yeah, it's not gonna be there anytime soon. As normal as. Yay! I saw your excitement in the Discord. But you did very, very well with all the trading. So I'm very glad that all worked out. I mean, come on, you put in a ton of work, man. So I do not blame you at being super glad at it working out. Also, yeah, I should actually have moved the hook a while ago. Alright, yeah, about here. I was like, why is that so high? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because you haven't moved the hook? So how do I mean, sometimes puppers like company, so... Might not be the hardest sell to be like, hey, maybe we should have another pup. Maybe. I imagine Greenleaf just stare at me like, the fuck you talking about? I can just imagine. Like, don't encourage her. After he gets his bunny and moved to a bigger place, to be fair. Ah! Girl, I mean, this is the awesome stage where it's like you don't have to terribly worry about stuff, so I don't blame you. I would be the same. Also, Bunny! I knew because Greenleaf was mentioning about building stuff for future Bunny, so I figured that was also a thing. I like the idea of a bunny, but I know bunnies are not as, like, pet-friendly. As in, like, sitting there letting you pet them. Although it depends on the bunny and the temperament and so on. Plus, you know, they need space to run around. Plus, I think they're like cats in the sense of they like to zoom around in the middle of the night. And it's like, why? Because, like, I've seen videos and I'll laugh and I'll just be like, if that were me, I don't think I would take that well. So I do not like being woken up in the middle of the night. Although I stay up late anyways, which no one would really think so given I'm up at like 8 a.m. on the dot. Or in the 8 o'clock hour. With share. Oh no. Yeah, they do be having some sass. He was very hittable. People were surprised they were able to touch him so easily. Aww! That would be a dream. I will definitely keep that in mind. On my yarn Instagram, I follow, I think, it was like a bunny shelter group? Is it just bunnies, or is it floof animals in general? I think it might be just bunnies, but I forget. But I follow them, and every so often a bunny pops in, and I'm just like, ah! And I'm just like, don't. Don't do it! Not like my current circumstances would allow for that anyway. So, yeah. A lot of work, could be months, could be... yeah. I know everything's not gonna click, like, you know, instantaneously, unless, like, you know, it's, like, best case scenario ever. And sometimes, you know, they have health issues they gotta deal with, which I feel like if you're gonna adopt, that's one of those things you gotta think about up front. Like, make sure to consider that in your thought process. Plus, even if they don't, stuff can happen down the line, because it'd be like that. Yep. All the plying. It's behaving itself for now, so I'm just like, la 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 la. Thank you. I really do love how this is working. I was worried about it might, you know, be barber poly, which that's not the worst thing in the world, but it worked out really well. Adopt, try not to shop. Adopting would have been a torture for the rest. Yeah. Like, adopting would probably be one of those things once I, you know, not live here. Sort of things. Which I imagine the boyfriend would not be opposed to. But that's like down the line thinking. Do. Ah, what are we? Why are we? I came back to the... that happens. I'm basically going on about possible, say, adoption of a floofy child. Nothing like right now. We were shopping for... Oh. No. No. I don't think I actually want a small human, but that's like a me thing. I have never mentioned this. I'm not sure how my parents would feel about it, but that's none of their business nor their problem. Well, arguably that's their problem if I don't want a small human. Given, you know, I don't feel like they would be the best grandparents, but, you know. Let's not go down that road. Yeah, I'm like, let's not. But you know what I mean. Although, given they freak out at the fact, well, I'd say my dad does anyway. He's like, you possibly dating, like, so-and-so, and it's like, yes, just because I'm talking to this guy, I'm totally, you know, dating, like, can we not? Which, in that instance, is the friend that recently got married. A few months ago. Which I'm still sad I could not get over there, but eh. It be what it be. Really do hate this stupid plague. Anyway, we have hit a bit of a nub here. Can this come out? Parenting the small. Yeah, I have not discussed that with them, and I hope I never have to. I'd rather climb my way up a wall before that happens, so yeah. Nope. I mean, I could change my mind, but right now it's a resolute no, not happening. Because I know at least a good chunk of people from, say, high school, one or two from college, I know have had kids now, and it's just like, okay. They're cute, but I'll be over here not doing that right now. Why are we... The hell is your problem? Okay, I might be pulling on both and not the one that needs to stop the thing. Okay, I gotta be careful and make sure. Most I ever do, yeah. That makes sense. Help give them, you know, a nice home for at least a couple of years. Like, you know, if they want to just immediately go out on their own at 18, even though that is becoming more and more difficult due to the economic landscape of this barren, godforsaken country. But, you know, thanks. Oh, Irish pub. Have fun. Thank you for the raid, I appreciate you. Definitely enjoy Irish pub time. It's just a, yeah. Who decided 18 was the age that it's like you're an adult now, legally? Like, I feel it's kind of stupid. For everything except drinking, you're good to go at 18. And it's like your brain does not develop fully until you're like 25, so should not be making these decisions at 18. Makes no sense. Don't understand. Has this started too? I'll just scream about the system. Scream. Sorry. Not my intent. But I realize I'm just like, this is the third time. I'm just like, God damn this system. And I mean, arguably every single country has their issues. So certain issues. Heck, pretty much. I mean, people are flawed, so it's not exactly a shock that, you know, the systems we created are highly flawed in their own right. So, yeah. I made it fit to encourage by school. Yeah. And don't really weigh, like, you know, the potential ramifications until much later. And it's just like, no one told me this. And it's like, welp. Come on, why are we like this? I will get off of my highly piled soapboxes right now. And try to change the topic so we don't continue to go down this rabbit hole. Also, yeah, I'm almost at 3 hours, but I might do a wee bit of overtime. I'm not streaming until Tuesday again, so it's not the worst thing in the world. If I go a little bit over time. Is very different from, yep, it very much is. Ah, come on. And this is why I'm like have like vacated Facebook. Like, I can't. I like my sanity too much. I say that frees me from the crazy of social media, but it does not. But it just makes it a little less wanting to scream from the rooftops what the hell is wrong with people. At least 5 times a day. But you know. Yeah. The only way I could get away from the crazy is, you know, not be on the internet, but that would not work. Like, I feel like it's pretty much impossible to not be on the internet in some capacity in this day and age, so yeah, that unfortunately is not an option. And pet, there. Like, I don't even post anything, so it's just like, whatever. I was just like, you know what, let's just get rid of the whole thing. It's fine. Alright, let's move this hook back here. I've just been plying singles back here for like 20 minutes, and it's like, maybe you might want to move the hook sometime today. For art and memes and talk people. Those are also nice. I mean, yes, you can curate your feed and everything so you can avoid a good chunk of the garbage. But, you know, Facebook as a whole is, like, the worst thing alive. Well, one of the worst things alive, so it's just like, eh. Don't feel like dealing with you. Devastated, we're a little at our son and aww. They live in the no cell. There's no cellar. Well, I shouldn't be surprised, but I mean, yeah, there are areas with no cell service in general, so it makes sense, but I don't know why I didn't think of that in West Virginia. And now I just want to be like, country roads, take me home to the place where I belong. I swear to God, I will make references all the live long day. If I can. The lack of it. Yeah. Which that reminds me of the whole bridge. The footbridge collapsing. I think it was a footbridge over in Pittsburgh. Because I have some friends who live over there. And it was just like, that thing was like rusting from like years beforehand. They put some cables, but it was just like, guys, once the structural integrity of something is in question, you fix it. They're lucky no one died. Giant government satellites in mountains, West Virginia, live in a giant... Ah! Did not realize that. Huh. That is a pain. I wonder why they choose there. Why can't they... I imagine the Appalachian Mountains. Appalachian or Appalachian? But I think it's like throw an Appalachia, so Appalachian? It's always one of those things where I'm just like, how do you say? I have no bloody clue. Alright, is there... Okay, no. I thought I felt a little nub thingy. It's close enough for commuters from the DC metro area, far away enough from major to not have... Ah, okay. That makes sense. Also, anybody who's new here, that blurb from the bot is generally my socials, which my socials include my Etsy shop, my Instagrams, one for yarn related stuff and shop related things, and another one for art, which that reminds me I should post to that today. I like post to those like once a week. So I should actually get to it. I meant to do that before stream, but I forgot. Let's see. So Instagrams, Etsy, let's see, the website, which I need to fiddle around with, update, YouTube, I will eventually get back to that, maybe. I have ideas, just A, getting around to actually starting to work on them, and also having, you know, time. Oh. Wow. I really should actually pay attention to this. It's starting to pile up like the snow outside. But yes, if you want to check out my social links, feel free to click on the link tree. We do our own see them for the weekend. Nobody can blame us for not answering. We don't have... Nice. It's like, you know there's no cell service here. So you can't pester us every 5 minutes. Not that you would say that, but you know. That's like the plus of not being able to have cell service, where it's just like, no one's incessantly calling you forever and a day. Do 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 do. Alright. Saw a Discord ping and I was checking to see what that was. But it was not pressing, so we're good. Whee! Also, doing this is reminding me I should work on that sock commission. Which, sock commission is basically me knitting Evil Choices again for a second time. Which, those socks very much are all charts all the time. Like, I didn't think I'd be knitting those socks again. This is the second time I got commissioned to do those exact socks. It's like, but why? But they're pretty, so, I haven't cast on, I just haven't gotten to the start of charts. We'll hopefully get to that after stream today, maybe. If not today, maybe tomorrow. Because I want to get that done before Sock Madness starts. Because I don't like having socks on the needle when Sock Madness is about to start. Although, again, I do plan on hopefully keeping it casual this year for Sock Madness. Or as casual as I can possibly get it to be. We'll see how that goes. I was literally half considering just not doing it altogether. It's like I can at least just, you know, do the qualifier and go from there. And if I don't feel like, you know, screaming into the void much, I'll go on. I have other things I want to... Fair. Very much fair. I don't have a ton of things on the needle, so it's like, if I could put those on the back burner, it's fine. Ooh, nubs! Come on. Oh, and let's go here. Oh, also, have you guys seen the updated, electric eel wheels? Because the small ones, the nanos, made a couple of changes by the looks of it, and they look pretty nice. Also, they apparently have new colors. Like, the small one's gonna be blue now, which I was like, okay. Plus, I think the 6 might be getting one of those automated hook movers. Possibly? Like, they're working with the company that does those. I saw the update in my email and glanced at it, and it's like, it looks like it's gonna be pretty neat. Although, I don't need another wheel, so it will not be me. Plus, I like my current edition of the 6 anyway. I have no real needs into... No real... Wow, I just put the words reason and need together. Wow. I have no real need to, you know, get anything else. But yeah, anybody looking at wheels, certainly in the next month or two, definitely should pop up on their website, which their website being dreamingrobots.com. I should have a link with the wheel command. I'll send you to the shop, although, again, this is currently not available. Which I do not have an affiliate for them or anything. I just happen to like their wheels, and Maurice seems to be pretty cool people. Because he had helped me out the last time when my motor died on my Nano during Tour de Fleece. Was that last year or was that 2020? I don't remember. I think it might have been 2020. I don't know. One of those years. And I was just like, are you kidding me? I was lucky I had spindles I could spin on. I would have not been able to continue on that gear. Feels like a good week until I got a replacement. Yeah, I'm just like, was it last year or the year before? I don't know. They all look the same. With more or less fire and stupidity. Do. Well, arguably, not less stupidity. Alright, and yeah. Whee! Alright. Pre-house and fair. It's been, what, a year since you got in the house already? Which is mildly insane. One, if not two, now. I know it's... Actually, yeah, probably a year. Because it was last year around... New Year's? That you moved in? Yeah. I was like... I remember being around New Year's or so. And you guys had to move in there. So at least you have that definition of time. That helps. I was just December 31st and... Yay! Yeah, okay. Cool, I actually remember a thing. Woohoo! Alright, where are we getting this playing? Okay, yeah, I can go on for like a little bit longer, but I'm probably gonna end in like, say, like 15 minutes or so? On our living room couches. Aww. And so many goddamn emails. I was looking to see if I see anybody on that does the crafting things, which that's kind of an issue on Saturdays, because usually about my time slot is about the last time slot where there's typically anyone doing any makers and crafting that I personally follow, which is a pain. They were the only refrigerator we had brought. Oh, forget. Ah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'll update eventually. We'll get to that. Let's see. Art. Oh, no, Sleeping Luna Designs is on. Alright, and oh, vintage watercolor. Doing makers and crafting. Who else? Alright, those two. That's more than usual. Alright. Probably gonna give it another 15 and see which one of them is on. Which, hilariously, if neither one is on, I'll just pick somebody. Which, that reminds me, I should probably put a channel points thing on, you know, someone picking where the raid or hosts go. Because I keep meaning to do that. I just forget sometimes. Alright, and we have Nub. Nub, please get out of the way. Moving over. Aww. That is a mood. Moving is a lot. I have not partaken in that yet. But based on all the stories I've heard from you guys, it's like everything all at once. So I get it. It's everything and then some. Alright, cool. Nub has been fixed. Whee! Also, that is hilarious. That's like, hey, random slushie machine. Let's have some alcoholic slushies. That is a mood. Okay, why are we... How dare you? I was working while I can just picture you just typing away and it's just like boxes surrounding you. A fort of boxes. They're packing around. It's like, sorry, we're trying to get out of here. So forgive the various sounds of boxes getting tossed in 15 different directions. Alright, there we go. Aww. So I had to build a fort. Oh no. I can understand being excited about getting a big fruit. So that is also fair. Alright, and let's see. Might see if I could ply a bit more later, but this is certainly a good chunk of plying I've gotten through today, so I could leave it at that and work on socks if I get the urge. That, and I might just stare at more Iron Chef, because that has kind of become my thing on and off, randomly watching a couple of different YouTube channels. And I'd found like a couple of Iron Chef episodes. The original one, not Iron Chef America, because from what I've seen, Iron Chef America is kind of garbage. But regular Iron Chef, the original from Japan, is like basically the cooking anime, the live action cooking anime, no one knew they wanted. Although arguably the voice dub is like at times highly off. It's hilarious, weird. I very much love it. It's because, yeah, I have heard he's not the best human. He ruins everything. Oh no. He has like 3 to 5 shows on the Food Network, so he's kind of hard to avoid, unfortunately. But I do not go actively seeking out the man. Oh no. That bad? Slander TikTok. Oh boy. Yeah, one time, I think I was looking up Iron Chef, and like one of the videos that pops up every so often is just like how Bobby Flay is like, you know, not great, to put it mildly. He's a pretty yeah, that is essentially what I get. I haven't watched the video, but it pops up in my feed, and I'm just like, do I want to watch this? Or do I just want to live in 90s Japanese cooking TV? I think we'll do the latter. Which I need to discuss. What is it? The third Iron Chef Japanese? Because they have a what? Originally it was like Japanese, Chinese, and then French cooking. They did have Italian after a while. But I think that was like the 4th season or so. But yeah, like down the line, nearer to closer where they end, like closer to 2000, they had gotten the third Iron Chef Japanese, because that was like the only position that was like arguably most inclined to be vacant at time. Although the original Iron Chef Japanese was an older gentleman. He was like 65 at the time he retired from the show. And the show had started like 2-3 years ago, but I guess like he was like, nah, don't feel like doing this. And then the guy who replaced him left, and then, but yeah, third Iron Chef Japanese, he was from New York. He was Japanese, but from New York, and it was just like, they would not shut up about the fact he's wearing a diamond earring, which I guess, because it was the 90s, that was like, essentially like, not even slang, but it's like direct way of saying like he's a bad boy or whatever. Because they kind of painted his character as definitely more of unique and follows the beat of his own drum, which this one I'm talking about is Morimoto, which there was a thing where it's like after. They say that in the show. They said in the show that, you know, it's the announcer's son or nephew, but I don't think that's legitimately him, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's just the lore. But yeah, Morimoto's one of the chefs. What's his name? Who's the... essentially, like, the announcer dude somewhat. Kaga. What is it? Kaga. Yeah, Kaga. But yeah, no. Not in reality, to my knowledge. But yeah, I think they just wanted to latch on to some of the fan base for original Iron Chef by saying that. I don't know. I have not watched Iron Chef America, and I probably won't ever do so. I'll be real honest. Which I'm trying to see if I could find a good chunk of the specials. Because the specials are especially fun. Come on. The only thing is, you know, given the time frame, they basically are like, if you look for them on YouTube, they're not going to be the best quality. Like, literally, it's 360 resolution is, like, literally the best you get 9 times out of 10. Like, sometimes it's even 240, so, you know. Pixel grade, very much, because it was, what, 93 when it first started, so, you know, DVDs were just barely becoming a thing, so they unfortunately don't have any DVDs. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, I will not be shocked. Which, again, this is kind of like the way of, hey, you would think everything is like, you know, on some like master tapes or something, and it's just like, nope. This is just within the last, say, 10, 15 years that's really become a thing that they do. And anything before that, unless, like, you know, someone, like, has, like, the original copy and, like, put it onto YouTube or somewhere like that, you're not gonna find very good quality of it. It's just one of those things you don't really think about until you're just like, why can't I find such and such? And it's like, oh, because this is not even, you know, there. One specific, oh. that horrible? Also, divine room. Divine design. Words. That sounds like Pimp My Ride, or... what is it? MTV Cribs. Oh god, 2000s. You were... a lot. Which, I was telling a friend. Basically... I think he was like... he was saying like some, let's see... rap analysis person was like, hey, we're gonna talk about Soulja Boy, and I was just like, oh cool. The early, well actually late 2000s punching bag. I feel like he's required discussion at this point, because it was just like, remember that stupid song was everywhere? Which I will not sing it because it will get stuck in my head, but you know the one. I think, did he have like at least some songs after that? I think he did. And it's just like, in retrospect, everyone's just like, this was like the worst thing ever. Which I cannot believe that's like over a decade old now. Which, let me check. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like 2008. Because I remember that stupid song being everywhere. Blah da da da. Oh gosh. He's older than me. Ugh. Only by like a couple of years, but ugh. Yeah, he's about 30. 31 actually, according to Google, but that's not what I'm looking for. Please don't automatically play. I don't need that in my life. Oh wait, it released in 2007, but probably just took a little while to get up the charts to 2008, I'm guessing, but yeah. Around there. Oh god, this horror. Who decided that song needed to happen? I want to punch them. And what is it? Oh, he wasn't like, yeah, I'm like, it was at least a decade ago, so that's why I'm just like, I know he was definitely... But it makes sense, remember, Never Gonna Give You Up, that Rick Astley song, he was like 21 when that came out, so it does not surprise me he was like, you know, young. And now that song's gonna be in my head, although I actually kind of like that song. Even though that song is definitely more meme than song. Also, it is 4:25, so I should probably... I definitely... Oh no! Rick Astley, I mean? Yes, it does. They're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. Alright, cool. Let's see. I'm staring at the phone, see if we have any makers and crafting people on. Okay, Sleeping Luna's on. So I think I'm definitely gonna end it here. I'm just gonna sit here and keep plying for like forever if I don't get off of here. Which, I love you guys, but I probably should get up at some point. That would probably help. Also, I need to figure out why this is being so dim. It's weird. Is it me? Wrong screen. There it is. Yeah. Oof. My back doesn't hate me because I made sure to take breaks, so that helps. But yeah, I definitely should, you know, not sit in my ass the entire time. But, let me go open the the Twitch page. This is how you know I definitely need to, you know, not stream for a bit when I just start saying the wrong thing every 5 goddamn seconds. Ugh. It's like, no, not that word. Other word. Yeah, Sleeping Luna Design seems to be doing coffee bean cross stitch, which I am for anything involving coffee, so I'm not opposed, but the ad needs to go through, so that's a good 30 seconds. Thank you. I've missed you guys hanging out with you here. Wow. I've missed you guys hanging out here. Jesus. But yeah, anybody who wants to possibly come back another time, totally feel free to follow and hang out with me. I hope you've had a good time. Liz, I know Liz has wandered off, but thank you for the raid once again. Shannon, thank you for the resub. I don't think I've missed anybody else in alerts. I will double check the bot. Nope, I did not. So, very much appreciate you guys. I'm gonna get the raid started and put to you guys on the end screen right here. Been in and out of the office, so fair enough.